Good evening, folks. I'm going to call this meeting to order November 26th at 6 p.m. For those of you that came in, make sure you sign your back. There's a form to sign up. And if you're going to speak tonight, if you come up here, you'll speak and state your name and address, whether you're giving any testimony at all. I believe this evening we're short our stenographer, so we're recording this by device. And a little bit of housekeeping here before we start the meeting. If you're going to speak tonight and give any testimony, if you raise your right hand and swear you still going to speak. There you go. Swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. A little bit of housekeeping. We had two meetings on 8/27/24 and 9/24/24. Do I have an approval for those minutes?
I move we approve them. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, our case this evening is Summit Township owner to Arthur Kuko applicant, and requesting a variance for a front and rear yard setback to build a single family dwelling. Whoever's going to speak on that behalf, please come forward.
Hi, I'm Arthur Pupko, address 1117 West 37th Street, Erie, PA 16508. How's it going?
Pretty good. Yeah, you do good so far.
Am I good in the mic?
Yep, you're right.
Okay. Basically, my uncle won the auction for this lot, and he's given me the option to purchase it with him. And my in-laws actually live down the street from this property right here, and my father built some of the houses on the street. They've been there for a long time. They're not planning to move, so I just recently moved from Boise, Idaho to beautiful Erie, PA, where, it's nice and green.
We're never seen.
And we're, planning to buy a house, either buy a house or build a house here in Erie. And I mean, it can't be a better opportunity for me and my family to, to build a property right kind of down the street from my in-laws, which I have a good relationship with, which is, I probably wouldn't be buying it if I didn't. So I'm just doing, during my kind of due diligence of this lot, I realized that with all the setbacks and that snow easement there, the buildable kind of footprint is only 30 feet in depth, right? So, I mean, you could imagine that you can't really, build a very big house on a 30-foot deep property, unless if you do 2 stories and stuff. And then looking all at the houses around the property, they're all relatively pretty big. I mean, just right down to, I think a couple houses down, there's a 3,500 square foot house. So they're all, over 2,000, and I'd probably say that the average is closer to 2,500 square feet on that street. With that 30-foot setback in the front, it pushes back the house way further than all the houses on the street, which is not ideal. Like even I printed out another page, it didn't print out well. But if you would look at the top side of that cul-de-sac, that neighbor's house is in line with the other houses, right? So with a 30-foot setback in the front, you have to really push that house towards the back, which, like I said, is not the ideal situation. And, you know, I propose a 20-foot variance in the front and 15-foot variance in the back. So that, and that floor plan right there that you see is, it's 55 feet deep. So, and that is a 2,500 square foot house, single story with a 2-car garage. And that's kind of, you know, that's probably something that I would want to do if I were to build on this property. I probably want to do something like 2,500 square feet, you know, on one floor. That would be, you know, I feel like that would fit the neighborhood. You know, as you can, from the kind of bullets that you have to hit in order to get a variance, I feel like we got, you know, I feel like we have a lot of that down, because, you know, this hardship of kind of a narrow lot is, you know, it was not brought on by, you know, by the potential owner. Was like, it's there. So, yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys have any questions. You could.
I believe we will. I just have one question. You're the potential owner, your uncle or somebody else still owns the lot, correct?
So actually, Summit owns the lot right now.
Summit still owns the lot?
Yeah, it's in the process of sale. So.
Okay, so, do you have some questions for him?
Yeah, a couple. Have you considered 2 stories?
I have, but like I said, a 30-foot house and a 30-foot deep house is just gonna look, I feel like it's just gonna look weird in the neighborhood like that, you know?
The other question I had was, you know, if we do get a winter and they stack snow there, where's it gonna run? Is it gonna run in your basement? Have you considered that pile of snow melting?
I haven't really considered it much, but I mean, we would have to, you know, we would have to consider it. As you can see, it would be pretty close to it.
Is this, your house is like, this is your side yard right here, and this is their side of their house, correct?
Yeah.
Is their driveway come in the top like this, and it doesn't come across it, well, their driveway's up here to get in there, to this house?
Yes.
Okay, so you're facing, you're side by side here. Did you meet your setback on that side, correct, Aaron? Okay. My question is more for township, and we don't have anybody representing a township here tonight. So you'll answer some questions for us, Aaron? Sure. Okay. And we'll get to everybody else here shortly. On the township, how did the township acquire this lot? And if they did, was it made to, did they make the lot to a spec? I believe Soloff owned all these properties. Was it a liftover and a give me to the township for snow, or was it part of the transportation plan? And if it was, when was the transportation plan amended? And was this property specifically taken out from that plan for the record?
Mm-hmm. Well, I will have to look into that and get back to you on that question, on all those questions. I don't have those dates for you. On when we purchased this property, when we acquired this property, I know a subdivision did go through. And, you know, right next to that lot, Lori Drive, the La Castro subdivision went through, and at that time, they decided not to, where that proposed road was gonna go through to Hessinger, the supervisors decided not to extend that road, to go through there. But I do not have those dates on that, when that subdivision took place. I can get back to you on those dates.
I had one more. It seems to be there's quite a bit of an area here, okay? Which would be you'd have a good side yard setback, but you could extend the house in that area. Have you considered that for square footage rather than?
Yeah, I did, but there's a creek right there at the bottom right corner. You kind of see that creek going there. Didn't want to get too close to that, so. Yeah, that's why, so I think the buildable kind of footprint per summit was 100 feet wide, but I kind of backed off from that creek by 20 feet. Yeah.
I guess that was the other question I would have had, is if we made the 100-foot and the township didn't delineate that area for snow, would his house been able to be built in there and it'd be a lesser area for snow? But that still doesn't help his setback. You know, your setback up here is your biggest problem.
Yeah, because even with the easement, if you move the front setback forward by 20 feet as I requested, you don't have to get onto that snow easement at all. You're still, by like 5 feet off of it.
Okay.
5 feet's not much, right?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you could, you'd probably have to kind of.
So 5 feet's not very much.
Yeah.
I don't believe we have any further questions for you. We have some folks that want to come forward and submit some testimony.
I am that uncle or one of the uncles. So the idea here is.
Sir, we need your name.
My name is Ilya Pribishik. The address Ilya. Last name Pribishik. P as Peter, R, I, B as boy, Y, S, H, C, H, U, K. Do you need my address?
Yes, for the record.
4714. Upland, it's UPLAND. Upland Drive, Erie, PA 16509. So the idea of variance is, we just want to have more room to properly put that house in. The two-story home that you're referring to, it would not, yeah, it's possibility, but the entire neighborhood is basically built in one way. So you sort of want to have the similar home in the neighborhood. And obviously your snow questions are legit also. That would be worked out with the, during the process with our engineers when we address the stormwater plan and all that stuff. So any other questions or concerns?
Please come forward.
Daryl Mosier, 2376 Thorn Road. One, just right behind his house, actually. The only problems I can really see with the whole thing is one, in that cul-de-sac, there's a drain. It's kind of like goes straight smack up in front of his driveway. I don't know if you guys have all the draining water runoff things in your maps, but when you look at that drain, which I've done for La Castro because of the water running into her little stream there on the right side, there is a line that goes directly through that whole lot at an angle, kind of at a corner angle back to where that drain is. So when he digs that basement for that, he's gonna run right into that sewer line or that line that you guys have for your water runoff for that whole road. Because it runs into that ditch back there.
Do
I mean, you can go
I
and
guess-
look at that drain and you can see the pipes, which angles those pipes run. And you can see that pipe runs right at an angle, right back up towards Dorn Road at a 45-degree angle from that, and it goes right to that stormwater runoff that he was pointing to on the right. So when they cut that in, you're gonna have a problem with a lot of runoff on that street. There's already a lot of water that runs, I don't know if he knows that or not, but there's a lot of water that sits on that lot as it is already. And it runs all into that stormwater ditch. That goes straight back and runs at a 90-degree angle. Why it turns at a 90-degree angle and runs to a stream over there to the right somewhere, I was told. But
This appears to be good information to the potential owner. We don't control how the water goes, but
Right.
I guess.
I have no problem with the building
My
behind me
concern
because
is they don't have somebody from the township here that can answer your questions on where the drainage goes, which is, I think, would be important. But just
For him.
You say the drain is up in front of here somewhere.
it's to the left, where you see where his garage is on the plan, to the left up there, straight ahead, yep, right there.
And then where's it go to?
And then it runs at a 45-degree angle, right down through there like that, and into that drain to the right. Yep,
It's coming down deeper than
Was it? Okay.
and it's not that deep. It's probably less than 10 feet in the ground, probably.
Do you have any opposition to the rear setback on that?
No, no. As long as it's surveyed, it's gonna be surveyed, so he knows where the boundaries are.
Yes,
I believe so.
requirement when he goes to get his own permit.
I have no problem with that. I just want him to be aware of building a house with that cattle are nice. I'd hate to see him run into water problems in his basement. Because it's a very wet lot.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion from the board?
for me. For me.
Would you like to make a motion? I'd make a motion that we'd approve this, but I believe it's buyer beware. I don't, I'd prefer to see a smaller house. I don't think we regulate on what they build. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
No,
Opposed?
no.
All right, thank you. Variance granted. A motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move we adjourn.
Anyone else second?